Hi, welcome to Neil Slate Presents Fun Pairings with Craft Beer and Food. So, like I said before in my intro video, it's going to be Pilsners and some Spanish cheeses. They're going to be Spanish cheeses brought to you by Trader Joe's, but not at all sponsored by Trader Joe's. That'll be 3 cheeses, a Manchego, Iberico, and Cabra Alvino. So we're going to have some fun mixing it up with 2 different Pilsners. Right here you can see Bergen Brewing with the Clever Kiwi. It's a Nelson dry hopped Pilsner. And then from Wayfinder, I'm trying to get the CZAF right. Very simple, but it's a very traditional Czech style Pilsner. So we're going to do a little bit of both and see how they both kind of work with this cheese combination. All right. Okay, let's get into it. I'm going to first taste test without comparing the cheeses, just to give you my initial thoughts of the beers. We'll start with the Wayfinder Czech style Pils. It's right here. So right away you get some like toasted biscuit, like kind of like bready toast kind of notes to it. There's definitely some like herbal, a little bit of floral notes, and like a little bit of like spice, but like maybe like slight peppery, like maybe clove spice. Clean, like easy to drink, not overpowering, like nice one to drink on a nice summer day that still has a little depth to it. It's not just like a bland light pilsner or anything like that. It's very true to style. So very nicely done. Now on to the Nelson dry hopped Pilsner from Bergen, Clever Kiwi. So right away it's a lot sweeter than the Wayfinder one. And by no means is it hugely sweet, just in comparison, it's sweeter. Right away, it's just a little more like white bread notes as compared to kind of like the toasted biscuit kind of notes. And also, you kind of get since it is Nelson dry hopped, and that's like the Sauvignon Blanc of hops, where you're going to get like white grape, passion fruit, melon, like cantaloupe, honeydew. So you're going to kind of get those kind of like effervescent kind of and fruity flavors from it. And I definitely pick out some of the melony, passion fruit, and like a little bit of that, like a white grape juice type of thing. So like they did it great with getting that Nelson hop flavor out of it while still trying to be kind of like crisp, still easy drinking, little body to it, but different contrast from the Czech style Pils, where people are just kind of saying that this is kind of a New Zealand style Pilsner. So now that we have an understanding of these 2 beers, let's try them with the 3 different cheeses, one by one. I'll start with the Iberico. Now this cheese, right here as I pull it out, little triangle, it's 3 different animals, cow, sheep, and goat. So there's a lot going on there. I'm just going to try it by itself first. Nice. Little bit of like I want to say like a citrusy, like kind of tart with the cheese. Very pleasant, very smooth. There's a little bit of like fattiness to it, and like from the cow's milk for sure. Very good. Now let's try it with the Wayfinder Czech Pils. I like it. It kind of cuts some of the toasted biscuit notes from it, a little bit of the spice notes. Kind of makes it a little creamier too. So I'm digging it. Now let's see how it does with the Nelson dry hopped Pils. Interesting. Like the melony notes still hit right away, then they kind of dissipate, and then the cheese kind of takes over for it. and you kind of still get kind of that smoothness of the cheese and like very clean. And the cheese lingers more than like the aspect of the beer in this instance. Now we're on to the Cabra al Vino. It's known as the Drunken Goat. Why? Because it's soaked in red wine prior to aging. They soak it for like 48 to 72 hours. So the rind of the cheese is going to be a little bit of the red coloring. And then they age it for like 3 to 5 months. So you'll get some uh, acidity from it, a little sharpness, and a little tartness because of the goat's milk that's used for it. So let's try it with the CZAF. Oh, wow. That's very interesting. So, still the toasted malts like hit you right off the bat. But then the cheese really comes in, like, and yeah, it feels like you get a little like kind of red wine notes to it. That goat's milk still like holds up, and like I want to say it's a little stronger for like the Czech style pills that I just paired it with. So again, they don't seem to work well together. But let's try the Nelson dry hop pills from Bergen and let's see what happens there. Interesting. Okay, you get the sweetness right away from the beer. Then it goes into the cheese. Kind of takes away some of the like the tartness that I felt when the CZAF I paired with. It's a little calmer, so it kind of calms down like the acidity of the goat's milk cheese. Not bad for it. Like it has like a little lingering flavor of the cheese for it. It's not the best pairing, but I'm like it's solid. Like I could still deal with that. And one thing I want to know too, when you are like trying to do pairings or anything like that, like you could easily like go overboard on a pairing and then kind of destroy your palate. So I always have something to try to clean the palate, reset it, and I have just like an organic French baguette that I could just like take a bite out of and clean the palate. That way, when I do the next pairing, like I won't have any lingering flavors from the other. Okay, with a clean palate, we're going to go to Manchego. It's a sheep's milk cheese from the region of La Mancha in Spain. It's a creamy, buttery cheese. I love the cheese. It's quite delicious. We're going to see how it pairs with the CZAF, the Czech style pills from Wayfinder. Well, the creaminess of the cheese stays true. Still stays buttery. You get kind of more the notes of the European noble hops from this beer. They kind of come through, the kind of like the aromatic spices, the kind of like floral notes of it. The toasted bread kind of notes, the toasted biscuit notes are a little more fainter. So like the creamy butteriness kind of reigns supreme over this. But like I think it's a good pairing. Like the beer goes down easy. Like the cheese is like held in the forefront, and like that's fine for me. But like it does nothing to diminish it. It blends well together. So I'm digging that. Now let's see how it works with kind of like the fruity aspects you'll get from like the Nelson dry hopped. Like right away, I still got like kind of like melony passion fruit, but it went away. Like it finished with like the creamy butteriness of the manchego, which is quite interesting. And, like it works well. I still think the Czech style CZAF worked better for it. I think there's a lot going on with the Nelson dry hop pills with the Manchego, but like that this cheese like holds over both of these kind of pilsners because of just like the boldness of it, like just that butteriness, like it still just holds through. Like both of them kind of make them a little more creamier, which I dig. And yeah, overall, I'd probably choose the Checks Out pills to blend with it, but either would work. You just kind of get that the fruitiness right off the bat, but then it like dissipates because the cheese just kind of like just cover your palate for it. So that's how my first experience with these pairings are gonna go, and be on the lookout for more in the future. Thanks.